Hello friends, welcome to the official YouTube page of RTI Academy. Today we are going to discuss the December 19, 2019 of Hindu newspaper analysis from the UPSC Prelims 2020 point of view. Friends, mostly we will be focusing till May month on the Prelims aspect 75%. In our video we are also giving some stress to mains aspect 25%. So kindly refer your friends to subscribe to our channel. So let's go into the video, friends. So the first article which came in the headlines is no stay on Citizenship Act implementation, says Supreme Court. Friends, as we all know, due to this Citizenship Act implementation, there has been protest happening across the country, and this was challenged by various experts to the Supreme Court, and they asked to stay the judgment, like this act they want to stay it, but Supreme Court what it has said that it has refused to stay this implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, and what it has instead said is that the government should create more awareness about what is the actual intent of the act, so that it will not lead to any violent movements in the country. In addition to that, the government has already clarified that the objective of the Citizenship Act is only to protect and welcome the religiously persecuted peoples, especially the non-Muslim migrants from neighboring countries from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, where actually the Muslims form the majority. So there is a chance for religious persecution. So we want to give protection for them. That's why we brought this act. That's what our government has been saying, friends. So next article is complete projects to curb Ganga pollution. This statement was made by National Green Tribunal. So friends, we should learn some basics about National Green Tribunal, which is very important for prelims as well as for the main segment. In polity 2 we have like statutory bodies, regulatory bodies. Under that column we can expect some questions in paper 2, friends. So let's study this in detail. So what it has said is it has actually levied a penalty for the UP government for mainly disposing sewage, like chromium has been disposed into the river. So it has imposed a penalty around 280 crore, and in addition what it has said that it has actually asked to complete all the sewage related treatment projects by June 30, 2020. By next year it has to be completed. So let's study this, friends. National Green Tribunal, this was enacted in 2010. So it is mainly to expedite the cases related to the environmental issues. For that, the government has formed the special tribunal. So it will hear these environmental related cases. And friends, we know in DPSP under Article 48A, the right to environment has to be protected. So it also draws its inspiration from this DPSP also, the setting up of National Green Tribunal Act. And this tribunal's principal branch is in like New Delhi. It has also some regional branches, friends. And each bench which is having it will have its jurisdiction upon the geography where it is operating, and the chairman for this will be a retired judge of Supreme Court, and if any other judicial members are appointed, they will be a retired judge of High Court. So there will be usually be a judicial member and expert member. Whenever expert members are appointed means they has to have at least 15 years of experience in the field of environment or forestry conservation. Next article is One canals cause Jaikwadi Dam water to leak in transit. Friends, here they will ask where this Jaikwadi Dam is located in the map column in prelims. So Jaikwadi Dam is actually located in Marathwada area, that is in Maharashtra, Aurangabad district, friends. And here what happened is that the dam, while supplying the water in the canals to the agricultural fields, some leakages happened. That's what this article is saying. So next article is Goa relieved after Ministry of Environment and Forest decision on Mahadevi project. Friends, this article is very important for prelims as well as for mains. Under the River Water Dispute Tribunal, these questions can be asked. So let's discuss this, friends. So what happened is that there has been a dispute which has been happening between the states of Goa and Karnataka over the water sharing mechanism of this Mahadevi project. So what happened, the Karnataka government has actually what it has planned to construct a dam across the Mahadevi river, which originates in Belagavi district in Karnataka, and it then flows into the state of Goa. So what happened is that when the government, Karnataka government proposed a construction of dam, Goa government has been afraid that water distribution will get affected. So for that they approached the Mahadevi Dispute Tribunal and later to the Supreme Court. Now it has been decision has been put on hold. So let's study this, friends. So the proposed dam is called Kalasa Banduri project on the Mahadevi river. It actually flows in the 3 districts of Karnataka, that is Belagavi, Dharwad and then Gadag districts. So the main objective has been the Karnataka government will divert the water from Mahadevi to the Malprabha river, which is a tributary of Krishna, friends. And this decision, as we know, it has been now appealed before the Supreme Court. And let's study some basics about Mahadevi river. It originates in the Western Ghats, especially in the Bhimghat Wildlife Sanctuary in the Karnataka's Belagavi district. So next is things Mahadevi Water Dispute Tribunal, friends. This was actually set up in 2010 only, but this dispute started in 2002 only. Till 8 years time it took for setting up a tribunal. After that, what the Goa government has said before these tribunals also is like it will by diverting the water will affect its mangrove ecosystem. What happens is that in case of Goa, the mangroves will be located along the coastal ecosystem. So when water supply from this Mahadevi river is cut off, means too much of salt intruded river water can happen across this mangrove vegetation system. So they may actually vegetation loss can happen. That's what the Goa government is saying. In addition, they are also saying it will also affect this agricultural production too in the state of Goa. So as of now, Supreme Court has stayed the construction. That's why Goa government is feeling relieved now. So next article is the editorial and open-end article, friends. Here only two articles are important from the UPSC prelims point of view. That is, one was related to RTI article and another article which came in the open-end article which talks about Citizenship Amendment Act. So let's discuss only these two articles from the prelims point of view, friends. So first article is that RTI Act. Friends, we have discussed more about RTI Act in our current affairs series issues in depth. You can refer that in our playlist column. So here let's discuss what this author is saying regarding this RTI Act. In the Supreme Court recently, the Chief Justice has made a statement. That's why the Hindu author has written an article regarding this. The RTI Act, actually what they have said is that it has made our citizens more informed. Awareness has been generated and even a responsible, accountable government has been fallen now. Under Section 4 of the Act, what this RTI Act has been saying is that there should be proactive and even voluntary dissemination of information should happen from the government side on its own, but that is not happening till now. That's what this author is saying, and there is a lot of vacancies in the Chief and State Informational and Central Commissioners post across the country. And even what happened is that as part of the appeals, the Chief Justice has made a statement is that nowadays lot of RTIs has been filed and it is actually leading to a paralysis of action. Why? Because the government officials are afraid these questions are not in a public spirit. That's what the Chief Justice has opined on this regarding the RTI. But this author of the Hindu author, what he is saying is that this argument by the Chief Justice is actually difficult to accept. Why? Because in the RTI Act only we have a provision that there is actually no need for any locus standi. Means affected person, concerned person, he doesn't need any reason to know the information which he is looking for. So the Chief Justice statement is irrelevant here. That's what this author is saying, friends. Next article is this open-end article are fears over the CAA misplaced. So here, as we know, friends, what happened is that the Prime Minister has already assured the total citizens of the country that we are actually not affecting any citizenship status of the people who are residing in our country, and especially it will not affect Muslims, he is saying. But what happens is that the sequence of series what they are going to conduct is very important according to the author, because first they are bringing in the Citizenship Amendment Act. Under Citizenship Amendment Act, we know that non-Muslim migrants from neighboring countries, they all will be given citizenship. Then what happens is that they will go for this NRC exercise. That our Home Minister Amit Shah said this exercise will be extended all across the country. When it is extended all across the country, it will identify who is the citizen of the country and who is an illegal migrant. Under these cases, what happens is that here the excluded community is non-Muslims. So, like excluded community is Muslims and included is non-Muslims. So here Muslims are not included. Now what happens is that here under the illegal migrants only the Muslim community will gets affected, because non-Muslim communities they may go and claim a citizenship status in the Citizenship Amendment Act. So the objective is going to affect the Muslim community a lot. That's what this author is mainly bothered about. So next article is Council votes for 28% GST on all lotteries. Friends, now they have actually increased the taxation. They are going to bring upon lotteries at a rate of 28%. From the prelims point of view, we should learn this GST Council. So GST Council, as you know, friends, it's a constitutional body, because an amendment has been made under the Constitution. It usually what happens is that it will make recommendations to the union government as well as the state government on issues related to GST. It will be chaired by the union's finance minister, and other members will be the union minister of state who is in charge of finance or revenue, and from the state side also a minister who is assigned with this finance or taxation, he will be called upon for this meeting. What this council usually will do, it will make a recommendation, or even it will make a these recommendations or decisions will be related to they will decide the rates at which the GST can be implemented. It will discuss what are the articles or goods which can be goods and services can be exempted, which can be included. All this will be discussed under this forum only, friends. And even there is one more thing which was related to this article is compensations, which has been coming very frequently in the newspaper. So let's learn that also usually this compensation cess is levied on this sin or luxury goods. For example, you know friends, these SUV vehicles, when it exceeds 4 meters means they will be charged 50% GST, and remaining in that 50% GST, 28% will be GST and 22% will be a separate compensation cess, and this will be distributed to the states as a relief due to the loss of revenue if any arises due to the implementation of GST. Next article is friends, Tata's memo, Supreme Court against NCLAT order. So NCLAT means National Company Law Tribunal. So it is basically a quasi-judicial body. What it will do is it will adjudicate issues related to Indian companies. So now what happened is that now Tata Group has actually approached the Supreme Court to restore Cyrus Mistry as the executive chairman. So let's study this NCLAT in detail, friends. So it was actually set up under Companies Act 2013, and it was set up during the year of 2016, like during the BJP government period on the recommendation of Jain committee only. So usually what it will do, this National Company Law Tribunal, it will hear proceedings related to arbitration, compromise, arrangements or reconstruction or winding up happening between the companies. It will actually go into these disputes. Usually it will be chaired by the judicial member. So judicial member usually will be a retired or serving high court judge. So usually it will be given the status of high court judge, a retired or serving member. And technical member usually will be this Indian Corporate Law Service, who is like appointed through the UPSC. So this NCLAT, it will actually, what it will do, it will adjudicate authority. It has one more extra duty, is that it will also hear this insolvency cases under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. This also we have discussed in our previous videos, friends. And these decisions of this tribunal, NCLAT, will be appealed before the National Company Law Appellate Tribunals. After that only it will go to the Supreme Court. Friends, you have to remember one thing is, like, it will not go to the High Court, it will directly go to the Supreme Court. So next article is FADA moves Supreme Court on sale registry of BS4 vehicles. So what happened, this it is a Federation of Automobile Dealers. They approached the Supreme Court so that they want to sell these BS4 vehicles beyond the 2020 cutoff period. What happened previously, our Supreme Court has given a judgment in 2018 itself. Like 2 years before only they told that BS4 vehicle standard, like whatever the vehicles are running and fuels are going on in this BS4 category, that has to be stopped and we have to go to directly BS6, skipping the BS5. So that is the cutoff date they have given. Now these organizations are asking for exemptions. Let's learn this Bharat Standard emission standards, which is very important for prelims, mains, and even interview. They are used to ask this question very frequently, friends. Bharat emission standards. So these emission standards are actually made by the government of India only. Why they are doing this is they want to regulate the air pollutants from the combustion engines, spark ignitions and motor vehicles also. So they want to curb the air pollution. That's the objective. That standard will be set by the Central Pollution Control Board, that comes under the Ministry of Environmental, Forest and Climate Change Department. We have followed and taken inspiration from European regulation only. From 2000 onwards we started going into this. That is in Bharat 3 norms, BS3 norms we have done in 2010, and BS4 norms we have done in 2017, and we have skipped directly BS5, and now we have going for BS6 from April 1, 2020. So what it will do means it will lead to increase in vehicle cost, because they need to go for the change in technology, improve technology, and fuels also, the refinery thing has to change. So higher fuel prices and higher vehicle prices will arise as due to this. So what happens is that due to this BS6 compliant, one big advantage is that it will reduce the quantum of NOx emissions by around 25%. Even sulfur dioxide emissions in BS6 fuel will be reduced 5 times lower when compared to BS4. So this is the difference between BS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 standards, friends. Usually what will happen means they all deal with NOx emissions, then they will deal with SOx, sulfur dioxide emissions, then they will deal with particulate matter emissions. So Bharat standards deal with these kind of pollution only, friends. So Bangladesh gives a river panel meet a miss. This is related to the Feni river water sharing between the states of Tripura, that is part of government of India, and the country of Bangladesh. So it is transboundary river which originates in Tripura only, and then only it enters the Bangladesh. This Feni river is also called Muhar river. Then what happens is that as part of this, Bangladesh government has agreed to let India withdraw 1.82 cusecs from the river. Why? Because they want to supply it to the border town in the northeastern state. But this meeting didn't happen now. That is a Joint Water River Commission. Due to the various our government has made some statements which affected the Bangladesh. Especially, it has created displeasure over the alleged persecution of religious minorities. That we said that Hindu minorities has been persecuted in Bangladesh, although it didn't happen. That's what the Bangladesh government has been saying, friends. Thank you, friends, and kindly subscribe to our channel.